So this is the last screencast for Chapter 4 as far as cell transport goes. And what we're going to focus on here is active transport. And simply put, active transport simply means that the cell has to use energy to move substances. Why? Because they're actually going to move molecules from where there's less of them and actually try to build up a concentration where there'll be more molecules. And that actually, like walking uphill or raking leaves into a pile or holding water back behind a dam, all of that takes energy. So there's a couple types of active transport. Again, when the cell actively or using energy moves substances into or out of a cell. The first type is called endocytosis. And endo means into or within. So it actually means taking material into the cell. And this is an example. This is actually a picture here of what's called an amoeba engulfing this little food particle, probably a bacterium. And then this is a little kind of a cartoon drawing underneath it of what's happening. But endocytosis really means cell eating. And kind of a cool example of this inside of our bodies is how white blood cells, pictured here at the bottom, how they engulf bacteria or viruses. White blood cells work as an immune cell roaming our bodies to engulf whatever foreign particles they find, bacteria or viruses or maybe a fungus, but they surround it and they engulf the material and they take it in. So they're taking it in using energy. It takes energy to do that. That's called endocytosis. The opposite of endocytosis is exocytosis. And of course, exo means out or exit. So what this does is it uses energy to get rid of materials. This, again, since it's active transport, it requires energy, and probably the best example of this is that certain cells in your endocrine system actually secrete materials out into the blood, and therefore they're getting rid of a product into the bloodstream, and they're forcing material out of the cell into the blood. That's just an example of exocytosis. So again, endo means into, exo means out of. And this last type of active transport, although really important in the human body and for every cell, we're not going to get into much detail with it, but they're simple protein pumps, and they are used for just small particles. And this is, again, only used when you need to build up or keep concentrations high of an organism or of a particular substance, because the molecules aren't going to spread out. Instead, the cells are going to concentrate them on one side of this barrier, of that cell membrane. They're going to try to keep substances out or keep substances in, but they're going to work against, kind of like working against gravity. They're going to try to build up concentrations of substances.